You felt it, didn't you? That unexplainable shiver that ran through your entire body the exact moment your eyes landed on this title. It wasn't random. It wasn't coincidence. It was a call echoing from the celestial dimensions, carried by angelic messengers who know your name, your address, your story, and most importantly, your destiny. Today, right now, as you read these words, something monumental is happening in the spiritual records. An inheritance bearing your exact name is being unlocked. The seals are breaking, the doors are opening, and you're about to discover why all those years of struggle, of deprivation, of sleepless nights and silent tears weren't in vain. They were necessary. They were preparing you for what's coming. Let me tell you something few people know. In the invisible corridors of the spiritual universe, there exist celestial vaults. These vaults don't just contain physical gold or silver. They contain divine inheritances, accumulated blessings, prophetic provisions that have been set aside specifically for certain people at certain moments in their lives. Your name was inscribed on one of these vaults before you were even born. Your parents didn't know it. Your grandparents couldn't imagine it. But heaven knew. And now, after years of waiting, after seasons of spiritual preparation, after trials that forged your character and refined your faith, the moment has come. The angels responsible for your file have received the divine order to proceed. The inheritance is being released. Maybe you live in a big city or a small town. Maybe you're in an apartment somewhere, trying to make ends meet. It doesn't matter where you are physically right now. What matters is that spiritually you are exactly where you need to be to receive this revelation. Think about all those moments when you prayed for a financial breakthrough. Those nights when you calculated and recalculated your bills, wondering how you were going to pay rent, electricity, food. Those moments when you had to say no to your children because money was desperately scarce. Those humiliating situations where you had to borrow money from friends or family, feeling your dignity crumble a little more with each request. All of that is about to change radically. 3 days ago in the spiritual world, an extraordinary meeting took place. Guardian angels, celestial messengers, and divine forces in charge of prosperity gathered together. Your name was spoken, your file was opened, and the decision was made unanimously. It's time. The time of scarcity is over. The time of financial shame is finished. The time when you had to explain why you couldn't afford certain things is done. A new season is beginning for you, and this season has a name: divine abundance. Do you remember that strange sensation you had recently? That feeling that something was about to change, even though you couldn't explain why. It was your spirit catching the movements in the invisible realm. Your soul was perceiving the angelic preparations. Your intuition was detecting the approach of your financial miracle. And now, today, the confirmation arrives. It wasn't your imagination. It was a divine premonition. Your inner being was alerting you that your celestial inheritance was on its way. Let me explain how this works in the spiritual world. Every human being has a celestial account. This account isn't managed by any earthly bank. This account is managed directly by divine forces. And unlike earthly banks that can deny your credit application or freeze your assets, the celestial account knows no limitations. It doesn't depend on economic conditions, central bank decisions, or inflation rates. It depends solely on divine will and the appropriate prophetic moment. And that moment is now. For years you've been sowing. Maybe not money, because you didn't have much. But you sowed kindness. You sowed generosity despite your own need. You helped someone when you yourself needed help. You gave your last dollar to someone who needed it even more than you. You shared your meal when your own stomach was crying out in hunger. All these seeds have been recorded in the celestial books. None have been forgotten. None have been lost. And now the harvest season has arrived. The angels are preparing a harvest so abundant that you'll struggle to contain it. Your spiritual storehouse will overflow. Your coffers will fill. Your bank accounts will reflect what's happening in your celestial account. If this message resonates deeply within you, if you feel that every word is a divine confirmation, write in the comments, "I receive my inheritance." Don't underestimate the power of this declaration. When you write it, you activate something in the spiritual world. You give your agreement. You open the door. You tell heaven, I'm ready. I'm available. I receive. And the angels immediately begin working on your case with renewed intensity. But let's be honest for a moment. You probably wondered, why me? Why now? And especially, why did I have to wait so long? These questions are legitimate. They deserve answers. And today, heaven wants to give you these answers, because understanding the why will help you receive the what with even more gratitude and wisdom. Your delay wasn't a rejection. Your waiting wasn't a refusal. It was preparation. Imagine someone giving you $1 million today, but you don't have the financial maturity, management wisdom, or character strength necessary to handle that amount. What would happen? Statistically, we know that most lottery winners lose all their money within a few years. Why? Because they received the money without being prepared to manage it. Heaven doesn't make that mistake. Your celestial inheritance arrives at the exact moment when you're ready to receive it, manage it, and multiply it. Think about all the financial trials you've gone through. Those moments when you had to choose between paying electricity or buying food. Those periods when you survived on $50 for an entire week. Those seasons when you wore the same clothes for years because you couldn't afford new ones. Each of those experiences was teaching you something precious. They were teaching you the value of money. They were training you in managing limited resources. They were developing in you a deep appreciation for every single dollar. And now, armed with this hard-earned wisdom, you're ready to receive abundance without wasting it. But there was something else that delayed your inheritance. Spiritual blockages, invisible forces that worked against your prosperity. Maybe someone in your circle was jealous of your potential. Maybe a family member, colleague, or even a former friend spoke negative words over your financial future. You'll never make it. You're not meant to succeed. Money isn't for people like you. These words aren't trivial. They create invisible barriers. They establish spiritual ceilings. They block the channels through which abundance should normally flow toward you. And there may have been mistakes from the past, financial decisions you regret, investments that went wrong, debts you accumulated out of desperation or poor judgment. These things created knots in your financial destiny line. But listen carefully to this revelation. Today, the angels are untying these knots. They're cutting ties with past mistakes. They're erasing the consequences of your previous bad decisions. They're neutralizing the negative words spoken against you. They're demolishing the spiritual ceilings that limited your financial elevation. It's a massive spiritual cleaning work happening right now, even as you read these words. Maybe you live in a small apartment. Maybe you're still living with your parents despite being an adult because you can't afford your own place. Maybe you drive an old car that breaks down regularly, or maybe you don't even have a car and must rely on public transportation. All of that is about to change. The inheritance that's coming won't just be enough to pay your current bills. It will be enough to completely transform your standard of living. It will be enough to move you from renter to owner, from borrower to lender, from asker to giver. Here's a sign you need to watch for in the coming days. Unexpected opportunities will start presenting themselves. A phone call you weren't expecting, an email that arrives without warning, a person you haven't seen in a long time who suddenly contacts you with a proposal, an official document that arrives in the mail. Don't ignore them. Don't dismiss them as mere coincidences. These are angels orchestrating these divine encounters, these providential connections. Each one is a bridge to your celestial inheritance. There may be someone right now, somewhere in the world, who holds information, a document, or a resource that belongs to you legally or spiritually. This person may not even know they're holding something that should come to you, but heaven knows. And the angels are creating circumstances that will reveal this truth. Maybe it's a family inheritance you didn't know existed. Maybe it's a life insurance policy from a distant relative who named you as beneficiary. Maybe it's a massive tax refund you weren't expecting. Maybe it's a business opportunity that will generate exponential income. Whatever form your celestial inheritance takes, know that it's real, it's substantial, and it's coming. If you feel emotion rising within you as you read this, if your eyes are beginning to water, if your heart is beating faster, it's because your spirit recognizes the truth of this prophetic word. Your soul knows this message isn't generic. It's specific. It's personal. It's for you. So leave a heart in the comments if this word has touched your heart. And if you want me to continue sharing celestial revelations like this one, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Heaven has much more to reveal to you in the days ahead. Now let me take you deeper into understanding what's really happening in the spiritual world concerning your financial situation. There are spiritual laws that govern the transfer of wealth, and understanding these laws will allow you to fully cooperate with what heaven is doing for you. The first law is that of prophetic season. In the spiritual kingdom, everything operates according to seasons. There are seasons of sowing, seasons of waiting, seasons of watering, and seasons of harvest. You've been in an extended season of sowing and waiting. This season was necessary. It developed things in you that you couldn't acquire in abundance. It forged your character. It tested your faith. It purified your motivations. But this season is now over. A spiritual seasonal change is underway. You're entering your harvest season. And in a true harvest, you don't just reap what you sowed. You reap a multiplication. If you plant one seed of wheat, you don't harvest one seed. You harvest an ear containing dozens of seeds. This is the law of divine multiplication. The second law is that of wealth transfer. It is written in sacred texts that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. This means that somewhere, resources that don't currently belong to you are being repositioned to come toward you. This isn't theft. It's divine realignment. People who obtained their wealth through questionable means, companies that unfairly profited from others, economic systems that created artificial inequalities. All of this is being rebalanced by divine justice. And you're among those who will benefit from this rebalancing. Look at what's currently happening in the world. The economy is going through turbulence. Prices are rising. Inflation is eating away at purchasing power. Experts talk about recession. But in the spiritual kingdom, this economic chaos isn't a universal curse. It's a redistribution process. When financial markets tremble, when companies go bankrupt, when fortunes collapse for some, the wealth doesn't simply disappear. It moves, it changes hands, and the hands toward which it's moving are those heaven has chosen. Your hands, you're positioned to receive in this season of global redistribution. The third law is that of supernatural favor. This law surpasses human logic. It causes doors to open for you while they remain closed for others. It causes people to decide to help you for no apparent reason. It creates opportunities that shouldn't have existed according to natural circumstances. This favor is already active in your life, but you're going to start seeing it manifest in much more visible and tangible ways. People in positions of authority will suddenly notice your name. Decision makers will remember you at crucial moments. Documents that should have been rejected will be approved. Requests that should have taken months will be processed in days. This is supernatural favor in action. Can you feel it? That stirring in your spirit that tells you everything I'm saying is truth? Let me share with you a specific revelation concerning names and places. In the spiritual world, names have power. Your name has been spoken in celestial councils. Not just your first name, but your full name, exactly as it appears on your identification. Angels don't make mistakes. They don't confuse people. When they say a specific name in a specific place, they know exactly who they're talking about. Your name is engraved on the spiritual document that authorizes the release of your celestial inheritance. And places also have spiritual significance. The city where you currently live isn't accidental, even if you feel stuck there for lack of means to move. Know that spiritually you're exactly where you need to be to receive what's coming. Whether you're in a major city or in a village of 50 people, Your geographical location is part of the divine plan. The angels know your exact address. They know how to find you. They know how to deliver your inheritance to you. There's also a dimension of divine timing you must understand. Why now and not 5 years ago? Why this year and not earlier? Because divine timing isn't just related to you individually. It's tied to a larger plan involving multiple people, multiple events, multiple circumstances that had to align. Imagine a cosmic puzzle. Every piece had to be put in place at the right time. Some pieces concerned your personal preparation. Other pieces concerned the people who would play a role in your financial breakthrough. Still other pieces concerned economic, political, or social events that had to occur to create the appropriate context. All these pieces are now in place. The puzzle is complete, and the image that emerges is that of your prosperity. Here's something fascinating. At the exact moment you clicked on this message, somewhere in the world, someone else was making a decision, signing a document, making a transfer, or having a thought concerning you. This synchronicity isn't magic. It's angelic orchestration. Heaven coordinates simultaneous events in different places to create the perfect convergence that will result in your financial miracle. It's also important to understand that this celestial inheritance doesn't just come to correct your present situation. It also comes to compensate for past injustices. All those times when you should have been promoted, but someone else got the position. All those occasions when you should have won, but you lost. All those moments when you were cheated, deceived, or deprived of what rightfully belonged to you. Heaven keeps a detailed record of all these injustices, and now there's a divine compensation coming. This isn't just a blessing for the future, it's also restitution for the past. Are you beginning to see how intentional heaven has been about your life? How nothing was wasted? How everything was leading to this moment, now that you understand what's happening in the spiritual world? It's crucial to know how to position yourself to fully receive your celestial inheritance. It's not enough to know it's coming. You must prepare your life to receive it and manage it wisely. The first practical action is spiritual purification. Before a great financial miracle enters your life, you must create space. This begins by eliminating spiritual debts. Are there people you owe apologies to? Relationships you broke through pride or anger? Unresolved conflicts weighing on your conscience? Now is the moment to settle them. Send that difficult message. Make that phone call you've avoided for months or years. Ask forgiveness even if you think the other person has more wrongs than you. This gesture of humility opens spiritual floodgates. It unblocks channels of blessing that were obstructed by bitterness and resentment. The second action is prophetic declaration. Words have immense creative power. Start speaking about your inheritance as if it were already manifested, not as a lie, but as active faith. Instead of saying, "I'm broke," or "I never have money," start declaring, "My celestial inheritance is on its way to me. The angels are working on my financial situation right now. I am heir to a divine fortune." These declarations aren't magical thinking. They're spiritual alignments. They synchronize your mouth with what heaven has already decreed concerning your life. The third action is practical preparation. If you're expecting a major financial inheritance, what should you do before it arrives? Start educating yourself financially. Read books on money management. Take courses on investment. Consult a financial advisor. Even if you have almost nothing to manage now, start developing the skills you'll need when abundance arrives. Heaven doesn't give great resources to people who don't have the capacity to manage them. Prove to heaven that you're a good steward by faithfully managing the little you have now. Open a savings account specific to your celestial inheritance, even if you can only put $1 in it to start. It's a tangible act of faith. It's a way of telling the spiritual world, "I'm ready. I've prepared a place to receive." Angels. See these acts of preparatory faith, and they accelerate their work in your favor. The fourth action is strategic generosity. I know what you're thinking. How can I give when I barely have enough to survive? But it's precisely in these moments that generosity has the most spiritual power. Find someone in an even more difficult situation than yours and help them, even modestly. Give $5 to a homeless person. Pay for the coffee of the person behind you in line. Buy a meal for someone who's hungry. These acts of generosity in your scarcity create massive openings in the spiritual world. They demonstrate that you're not a slave to money, that you're not greedy, that you have a giver's heart. And heaven always gives more to those who have generous hearts. The fifth action is spiritual vigilance. In the coming weeks, be extremely attentive to signs, opportunities, and providential connections. If someone contacts you unexpectedly, don't ignore them. If you receive an invitation to an event you wouldn't normally attend, go anyway. If a job offer appears in a field where you hadn't been looking, examine it seriously. Angels often work through channels you would never have anticipated. Your inheritance could come disguised as an opportunity you'd be tempted to reject if you're not spiritually alert. Check your physical mailbox regularly. Check your emails, even the spam folder. Answer your phone calls, even from unknown numbers. There's a true story of a man who ignored several calls from a number he didn't recognize, thinking it was a telemarketer. When he finally answered, it was an attorney trying to contact him to inform him he was the beneficiary of an inheritance of $120,000 from a distant relative he'd met only once in childhood. Don't let your inheritance call you without response because of your negligence. The sixth action is strategic prayer. I'm not talking about vague general prayers. I'm talking about specific targeted prayers. Pray that the angels assigned to your financial case receive increased power. Pray that all spiritual obstacles be demolished. Pray that people who hold part of your inheritance have a supernatural revelation that compels them to act. Pray that necessary documents be found, signed, and processed quickly. Pray that divine favor precedes you in every financial interaction. Pray for wisdom to recognize your inheritance when it arrives and the discipline to manage it correctly. And here's a specific instruction heaven wants to give you. In the next 7 days, at some point during the day, stop everything you're doing. Find a quiet place. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart and say aloud, I receive my celestial inheritance. I open my heart, my mind, and my life to receive the divine abundance that has been prepared for me. I accept the responsibility of wisely managing what is entrusted to me. Thank you to the angels working in my favor. May my life now be a testimony of heaven's faithfulness. Do this with conviction, with faith, and with gratitude. And watch what will begin to happen in the following days. We now arrive at the most crucial moment of this revelation. Everything you've read up to this point has prepared you for this final prophetic declaration. You have been chosen. This isn't a vague or generic expression. It's an absolute spiritual truth. Among millions of people, among billions of people in the world, your name has been specifically selected to receive this celestial inheritance now. Not in 10 years. Not when you've reached a certain level of perfection. Now. The time of anger is over. The time when you go to bed frustrated every night is finished. The time when you look at your bank account with despair is gone. The time when you must explain to your children why you can't buy them what they want is accomplished. A new era begins for you today, and this era will resemble nothing you've known until now. In the coming weeks, you're going to start seeing tangible signs of this transformation. Maybe it will be an unexpected tax refund larger than anticipated. Maybe it will be a job offer with a salary double what you earned before. Maybe a family member you were distant from will contact you with information about a family inheritance. Maybe a brilliant business idea will come to your mind and you'll miraculously have access to the necessary resources to launch it. Maybe an influential person will notice your talent and decide to open doors for you that you could never have opened yourself. Whatever form your inheritance takes, it will carry three distinctive characteristics. First, it will be substantial. It won't be a small marginal improvement. It will be a level change. Second, it will be unexpected. It won't come from the source you anticipated. It will surprise you completely. Third, it will be rapid. When it begins to manifest, things will move at a speed that will astound you. Processes that should have taken months will unfold in days. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable will fade away as if by magic. I want you to understand something profound. This celestial inheritance isn't just for you. It's also for all the people who depend on you. Your children, your parents, your spouse, your extended family. Heaven sees everyone who will be blessed through your blessing. When you prosper, you create a ripple effect of prosperity around you. You become a channel of divine blessing for those around you. This is why the enemy fought so hard against your financial elevation, because he knew your prosperity wouldn't stop with you. It would spread to dozens, perhaps hundreds of other people. And here's another powerful revelation. Your testimony will inspire other people. When people see your financial transformation, they'll want to know what happened. You'll have the opportunity to tell them how heaven intervened in your life, how angels worked in your favor, how a prophetic word you received manifested exactly as predicted. And your testimony will ignite hope in the hearts of people who are currently in the same financial darkness where you were. You'll become living proof that heaven hasn't abandoned those who struggle, that financial miracles are still possible, that celestial inheritances are real and tangible. Now I want to talk to you about the precise moment when everything will shift. There will be a day very soon when you receive information, a call, a message, or you'll have an encounter that marks the official beginning of the manifestation of your inheritance. That day, you'll recognize it immediately. Your spirit will confirm it. Your heart will beat differently. You'll feel something deep within you that says, this is it. This is the moment. It's really happening. When you experience that moment, I want you to remember this message. I want you to come back to the comments and write, "It manifested." Your testimony will encourage other people who are still waiting. It's also important that you understand this inheritance comes with responsibility. Heaven isn't just giving you money for your personal pleasure. It's entrusting you with resources so you can accomplish your divine mission on earth. Every person has a mission. Maybe yours is to help your community, support noble causes, finance education for underprivileged youth, care for neglected elderly people, or launch a business that will create jobs and transform lives. When abundance arrives, don't use it only to accumulate material possessions. Use it strategically to create lasting impact. And here's a warning I must give you in obedience to heaven. When your inheritance manifests, you're suddenly going to discover you have more friends and family members than before. People who ignored you will now want your attention. People who criticized you will now want your help. Be wise, be generous, but with discernment. Don't let people manipulate your good heart. Don't let guilt push you into making bad financial decisions. Heaven gave you this inheritance so you could manage it with wisdom, not so you could squander it trying to please everyone. I prophesy over your life right now. In the next 3 months, you will receive a tangible confirmation of what I've told you today. It may come in different forms, but it will be undeniable. You'll know it was more than coincidence. You'll know it was heaven's hand moving in your situation. And when that confirmation arrives, your faith will explode. You'll begin to see possibilities you didn't see before. You'll begin to dream bigger. You'll begin to walk with new confidence, knowing you're not alone, that invisible forces are working in your favor. There are angels right now who are assigned specifically to your financial file. These angels never sleep. They work 24 hours a day. They create opportunities. They arrange divine encounters. They influence people in positions of authority to make favorable decisions regarding you. They protect your finances against spiritual attacks. They thwart the enemy's plans against your prosperity. And they ensure that the inheritance bearing your name arrives at its destination without being diverted, without being delayed indefinitely, without being diminished. So today, I invite you to make a decision of faith. Decide to believe this prophetic word. Decide to align yourself with what heaven says about your financial future. Decide to reject all the enemy's lies, trying to convince you that nothing will ever change for you. Decide to position yourself to receive. Decide to prepare your life for the abundance that's coming. And decide to remain faithful to heaven even when the manifestation seems to delay, because the gap between promise and fulfillment is often a test of your faith and character. If this prophetic word has resonated in the depths of your soul, if you felt that every word was divine confirmation, if you know in your spirit that this message was meant for you personally, then I want you to do 3 things now. First, write in the comments, "I believe." These 2 simple words activate something powerful in the spiritual world. They declare your agreement with what heaven has decreed. They open the door of your life to receive. They signal to the angels that you're ready and available. Second, share this message with someone you know who's currently going through financial difficulties. Your sharing could be the instrument heaven uses to trigger their breakthrough. Don't keep this revelation to yourself. Be a channel of blessing by transmitting it to others. Third, subscribe to this channel and activate notifications. Why? Because this message is only the beginning. Heaven has much more revelation to share with you in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Revelations about your health, your relationships, your career, your family. Revelations that will continue transforming your life from glory to glory. Listen carefully to these final words, for they carry particular prophetic power. You who are reading this, you who held on until the end of this message, you whose heart beats with hope and faith right now, I declare over your life, your celestial inheritance is released now. The seals are broken, the doors are open, the angels are in motion, the resources are en route, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what heaven has decided to do for you. Your name has been spoken, your address is known, your celestial account has been credited, and the physical manifestation of all this will begin unfolding in your life starting now. May heaven's peace rest upon you. May divine favor precede you. May angels guard all your paths. And may your testimony of financial transformation become a source of inspiration for thousands of other people. You have been chosen. You are loved. You are about to experience the greatest financial miracle of your life. If you're ready to claim what's yours, write in the comments, "I am worthy of divine abundance," or simply 777 to activate this blessing over your life. Your declaration matters, your faith matters, your agreement with heaven matters, and before you go, take one moment to hit that like button, not for me, but as an act of faith that says yes to what heaven is releasing in your life. Then subscribe and turn on those notifications, because your breakthrough testimony is coming. And I want to be here to celebrate it with you when it manifests. Remember, this isn't just another message you stumbled upon. This was a divine appointment. Heaven orchestrated this moment. The angels made sure you found these words. And now your only job is to believe, receive, and prepare for what's already on its way. Your season has changed. Your struggle is ending. Your inheritance is arriving. Go forward in faith, knowing that what belongs to you is already released and nothing can stop it from reaching you. Amen.